Uganda is still fumbling with less productivity and low per capita growth, characteristic in sub-Saharan Africa, having sat at negative 8.42% in 2020, only to pick up in 2021 and fall to 3.64% last year. Finance Ministry's deep dive into strategies to strengthen the country's competitiveness for growth has attracted key recommendations from stakeholders. Dr. John Mutenyo, a profound economist, has recommended public sector reforms such as efforts to improve trade balance and downsize cabinet in light of constrained public finance.
For instance, do we need that cabinet of over 80 ministers to discuss small or poor country? Do we need over 140 districts where each district basically relies on the central government for funding? So simple. If a district cannot raise over 60 to 70% of its revenue, it should be merged with another district. Do we need over 500 members of parliament? Okay, compare with other developed countries like the US, with only 100 members who are voting. Okay, then do you need ministries like you say Kampala, Karamoja, Luwero? I don't know, for over 20 years it has been minister of Luwero. What development? What have they done?
The cost of public administration is very high. This country cannot afford to have a parliament of 555 MPs or 81 ministers or 147 districts. So given the size of our GDP and the revenue that we earn and the problems that we have in terms of our level of our debt, it is now high time we had a clear patriotic look at the cost of public administration. So there is a member of parliament who is bringing in a private member's bill, seeking leave of parliament to introduce that bill that would downsize parliament. I am a seconder of that bill.
Despite different projects oft in the current budget presumed to be priorities, Civil Society Budget Advocacy Group contends with the fact that the country needs to reform the funding pattern and look into key multiplier effect investments to support growth.
So the questions of efficiency are very important, and things that can bring returns to government are very critical. So I think this meeting by the end of tomorrow needs to address that. How efficiently can we deploy our resources? One solution I provide is on the issue of marketing Ugandan products. As long as we do not know the requirements of the market, our export strategy is not going to work. We need to understand that markets demand a particular type of product, and that is the product we should tell our farmers to produce. So if you just produce beans anyhow, and then there is no market for them, definitely you won't be able to promote your products abroad. So it's important that government invests in the marketing of Ugandan products beyond our neighbors, and that's our biggest problem.
Sub-Saharan Africa is still struggling with revenue mobilization at an average below 20% with exclusion of grants. While the International Growth Center further highlights the task at hand, the private sector has denoted regressive taxes that have stifled SME growth.
With presumptive tax is that it is selective. What is happening now is that if you are organized, then you'll be charged. For example, if you are a dairy farmer and you are selling to a dairy factory, the tax people know where to find you and they will come and find you there. But if you are in the same area, same village, and I'm doing dairy, I'll pay the tax. But if you are doing beef, you are fattening bulls and you sell them every week during those weekly markets where they sell cattle, you want to be taxed. So why is it selective? That is number one. Number two, how did they decide that it should be 20%? 20% of what? Of gross? Of the word here being presumptive. That's what they presume. Most of those people setting the taxes are not farmers or farmers' daughters. So even the whole which you have before they take out the 20% is not known. So what we are saying is Let us sit down with these farmers who did not go to school but paid for everybody to go to school and end up working with Uganda Revenue Authority and agree on how to levy these taxes.
While the Finance Ministry and key stakeholders such as IEGC, CSOs, and private sector players dig into better mechanisms to up the country's competitiveness for growth, cross-cutting concerns go beyond market challenges to further question how Uganda's fiscal and monetary policies are coordinating to aid transformation. Ivan Tivenkana, Smart 24 TV, Business Today.